Most commonly in a relationship, we have a hard time asking for the love that we need. We have a hard time asking for the support that we need in a relationship. In this video, we're gonna be talking about how to ask for support, how to get the support that you need, how to ask correctly, and just how to make it much easier to get the love that you want in your relationship. This topic largely applies more to the women because women, they're from Venus. So a lot of this information I'm getting from the book, Men Are From Mars, Women From Venus by John Gray. And he says because women are from Venus, they feel and think differently than men do on Mars. On Venus, they believe that love is given without asking. That's how love is for them. On Mars, that's not the same way. They don't give love until somebody asks. A man likes to do things independently. He likes to be able to accomplish his goals on his own because that's what gives him his strength. It makes him feel like a man. So he's only gonna ask his friends, his partner for support only when it's like the last resort. But for a woman, they intuitively have this feeling of what other women will need on Venus. So imagine you're on Venus, it's all women. They feel what other women will need and they give that love and support without their friends having to ask, and they expect men to do the same thing. And that's where we get the biggest problems in a relationship, when we expect our partners to be exactly like us. But luckily for us, this is just a skill that we can learn, and how we can, once we learn the skill, there you go, you're set. It's not like something that you're born good at, or whatever. It's a skill that we can learn, and because of that, once you get this down, your relationships are just gonna be so much easier. Whew, it is cold outside. I think I gotta get another shirt. Okay, I'm back. It's cold. Anyway, for the men that are watching, now that you know that this is how women are and this is what they expect, it's good to know that some women will purposely wait for you to also give the support without them asking. And if they don't get that support, then they're gonna come to resent you. They're not gonna feel like you love and care about them because you're not giving them love. Because to them, giving them love means you do things for them without them asking. For the woman, women commonly believe that if the man is not giving, then he has nothing left to give. Because women give freely, right? They're just gonna give before you even ask. So if the man is not giving, that means he has nothing to give. This is not how men are, and they do have lots to give, but you just need to ask for the right way, which we're gonna get into later in this video. The next issue that women will have is once the resentment has built up from not asking for support, it comes off as a demand. You basically better do something for me because I've done this for you, I've done this and this and that, and all these lists of reasons. This is gonna be the worst thing you could do for your relationship, and it's not gonna make the man, it's not gonna get the result you want, because this man is only gonna become more resentful, and he's actually gonna take a few steps back in a relationship rather than wanting to do something for you. For the woman, now we're gonna learn how to ask correctly. So there's a 3-step process here that the author lists in the book for what women need to do. Basically, we're gonna go through step 1, step 2, step 3. Step 1 is asking correctly. Step 2 is asking for more. Basically, asking for the things that he's already doing so that we can get like practice. Basically practice, asking and then showing appreciation. And then step 3 will basically be assertive asking. This is asking for asking for support whenever you need it for whatever you might need, but when he's resistant about it and he's likely to say no, you basically sit and wait, and he'll likely change his answer to yes. So step 1 in your process here is you're gonna start asking for support for the things that he's already doing. If he takes out the trash, you can ask him to take out the trash before he takes out the trash, right? Say, would you please take out the trash today or tonight or whatever? Because he's already doing that. It's not gonna feel like he's doing extra, but now he's fulfilling your requests. And you gotta make sure to always show appreciation when he's done. A man always has the need, his desires are to feel accepted, and when accepted, and also he loves to fulfill the people he cares about the most. So when you give him a request, you're giving him the chance to fulfill you. And then when he does that, because it's something he's already doing, which is why we're practicing in step 1, then you show him lots of appreciation. He feels like he's succeeding in fulfilling you. You're getting him used to that. Some important notes he says here is the timing is very important. If he's fully focused on something, that is not a good time to ask. Or right before he's about to do it, that is not a good time to ask. You got to make sure to not do it in a demanding attitude. If you feel like you're resentful, you're doing too much for your man, you don't want to ask at that time. Be very brief. So just say, would you take out the trash? You don't have to explain why or give him reasons or any extra depth. He doesn't need to be convinced. He's your man. He is your partner. If you give him more reasons, it's like trying to convince him why he should, which means you don't trust him. You don't trust him to fulfill the things. So you never want to convince your man. Be extremely direct. So don't assume or wait for him to offer or ask indirectly. For example, oh, the trash is really full. It's like you're basically saying, I want you to take out the trash without saying you want to take out the trash. Another very important one that is not important for women, but it's important for women asking men. The difference between would you and could you. If you ask, can you take out the trash? You're basically asking if it's possible. Can you take out the trash? To a man, this is almost insulting. It might not be consciously that way, but unconsciously it most definitely is. Imagine this for a woman so you can understand better. You're out on a romantic date or something or somewhere, and your man gets down on one knee and he says, could you marry me? That's not gonna be so nice. That sounds so not romantic. It's not, the love is just not gonna be there. It sounds so weak. You're not gonna say, could you marry me? You're gonna say, would you marry me? That shows you how strong and important that word is to men. So you can imagine how you would feel if your man said, could you marry me? And you can see the difference between could you and would you, and when you should start using would you. So that's it for step one. Just basically continue asking, and you're learning how to ask correctly using the would you. Be brief, be direct, be short, don't convince him, and only ask for things, because you're practicing right now, unless you're already good at this, ask for things that he's already doing. So that way it doesn't feel like he has to do too much. Step two is now we're asking for more. This is the times where you want to ask for support and you feel like he's probably going to say no. He might say no, he's not willing to do it. You're still going to want to ask in these situations. But most importantly in this step, it's the man needs to have the freedom to say no. Make him feel okay for him to say no. When you ask him, would you go to the store for me to get X, Y, or Z, whatever, right? And he says, oh, would you do it? Or I'm kind of busy right now, whatever. Hi, good morning.
How are you?
Good, you? So, right, when you go ahead and ask your man to go to the store for you, get something for you, or whatever it might be, you're asking him to do something he doesn't normally do, get ready for him to say no. And if he says no, make it be totally okay. Just say, okay, no problem, it's fine. If you tell him no problem, that's like the best thing you can say to a man. If he feels like, wow, there's no problem, my wife can trust me now to ask me something, and if I'm not able to do it and I'm able to say no, he's gonna give you points for that. And the next time that you ask him for something, he's gonna be way more likely to do it. Way more likely. So it's actually such a good thing when women start to ask more out of their man, but when you ask in the right way, in the trusting way, in the loving way, that's gonna allow him to feel more of a man, more loving, and he's gonna be able to do more for you. Step number 3, this is now assertive asking. This is basically the same thing as step 2, but when he just says no or in a way that means no, and you just say, okay, no problem, and you let it go. Now we're just gonna wait for him to say yes. When a man starts to grumble and get like grumpy about it, and he's actually considering doing the thing for you, a lot of times the biggest mistake women will do is they will interrupt his the author calls it stretching, right? If you ask me to do something, I gotta get up, I gotta stretch, I gotta get ready to do the thing. And this comes off as grumpiness. Oh, it's like he's tired and this, he starts making excuses, whatnot. That's him actually stretching his mind, his capacity to do that thing for you. And you just gotta wait for him to finish stretching, and he's most likely gonna say yes. And the most important thing here is once you ask, like I said, be brief, be direct, say would you, and then just wait. Even though he's gonna be grumpy, he might even ask some rhetorical questions like, oh, why can't you do it? You just kind of wait. You wait for him to say yes, and he's most likely gonna say yes. It's very important not to break the silence and to try to justify why he should do it. Oh, well, I did this yesterday for you. I cooked and this, and I feel like X, Y, and Z. That's gonna break his stretching. He's not gonna end up doing it for you. You might even start an argument there. And the author has a couple of these examples. He says, women will break the silence by saying, oh, forget it, or I can't believe you're saying no. I do so much for you. I don't ask you for much. It will only take you 15 minutes. I feel disappointed. This really hurts my feelings. You mean you won't do this for me? Why can't you do it? So just try not to break the silence. And this is the last step. So this is probably going to be the most uncomfortable part of the whole 3-step process, but you could do it with the step 1 and the step 2, which is the practice, getting used to it and getting used to him saying no. Then the last step is just relax, be silent, and wait for him to say yes. If he asks you some questions like why can't you do it, or I'm really busy right now, just match his resistance. Be like, oh, I'm really busy right now, would you please do it? Be brief, be direct, don't convince him. Wait for the grumpiness to go through, and he's gonna end up, he might even leave upset. But when he finishes that thing and he comes back for you, or he does that thing for you, and you give him love and appreciation, he's gonna feel so good. And you're also gonna feel good because he did that thing for you, because he does love you, he does care about you. You just gotta give him the opportunity to show that for you, and understanding the differences between men and women and how we can learn each other. This video has concluded. So that is everything that you'll need to know about asking for support from men. If you're a man watching this is still really good insight for you, because then you can see how the women are thinking and what you can do to help them as well. If you watch this video, and you can either send it to them, right? Or you could take the same knowledge and explain it to them. Like I said, this is the knowledge I found from the book Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus by John Gray. The link is in the description. So you can find that there if you want to read the whole book. It's chapter 11, how to ask for support and get it. Before you go, I am making like a manifestation course as well as relationship course. This is going to change your life within 1 month, 1 to like 1.5 months. The duration of the course is not yet established, but it will be releasing March 1st, and it will have early enrollment with a huge discount never before seen. It's like basically like an early bird discount, which means it's going to be lower than ever. The price will only go up from then if you are a Patreon member. So just join as a free member, log in through Google or however you want to log in on Patreon. It's easy. You'll get notifications on my videos as well. But when that course does come out, it's going to be life-changing, and it's going to set you up with the skills that you'll need. It's going to set you up with the habits and the discipline needed in order to manifest anything you basically want in your life. And that only takes approximately 1 month of serious dedication, only if you're serious. So after a month, 2 months, but the thing is, most people will relapse a little bit. So I would say it would not take no longer than 3 months to have the skills and the discipline and the habits necessary in order for you to just manifest anything you want, including relationship or jobs or whatever it is you want in life. So be tuned for that. I'm working really hard on that. I'm really excited to release that for you guys. Thank you for watching this video. I will see you in the next one. Also, if you haven't seen this video, it's called What She Really Wants from Your Relationship. This is for the men, and it's basically, you're gonna find out how your big acts that you think that you're giving to your partner, such as like getting them a car or something big or something large, is not actually worth as much as you might think in your relationship, and how you can improve your relationships by doing less and it's gonna be worth more. You can go ahead and check that one out.